A repair technician with 30 years of experience says the #1 service call he gets is for ovens that died after the owner pressed one button, the self-clean button. That single feature has destroyed more ovens than any mechanical failure in the history of home appliances, and the replacement part costs $300 to $500. Today, we are exposing why your oven was designed to destroy itself. Here is what happens when you press self-clean. Your oven locks the door and ramps the temperature to 932 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly 1,000 degrees, for 3 to 5 hours. The purpose is to incinerate the grease and food residue inside the cavity and turn it into ash. That sounds convenient. Here is what it actually does. Your oven has a control board, a printed circuit board with microprocessors, capacitors, and solder joints. It is the brain of the machine. And where do manufacturers mount this computer? Directly above the oven door. Some models mount it on the back wall. Either way, it sits inches from a box that is running at 1,000 degrees for 4 hours. The solder joints crack from thermal cycling. The capacitors swell. The wiring insulation melts. Nearly 20% of all oven repair calls are directly related to the self-clean cycle. One owner ran self-clean 3 times on his 11-month-old Maytag. The oven threw an error code and never worked again. He paid $600 for the stove. The repair quote for the control board was $400, 1 month outside of warranty. That is not a malfunction. That is a feature working exactly as it was designed. They sold you a button that fries the brain of your own machine to save you 10 minutes of scrubbing. And the replacement board costs more than half the price of a new oven. Your grandmother's oven had a dial, a mechanical timer that clicked when you turned it. It was a $10 part that lasted 30 years. When it broke, you replaced it in 15 minutes with a screwdriver. Modern ovens have touchscreens, digital displays, and electronic control boards that manage every function. These boards cost $200 to $500 to replace. The labor adds another $150 to $200. On a range you paid $700 to $1,200 for, a single board failure makes the oven economically unrepairable. And these boards fail constantly. Steam from cooking rises into the control housing. Humidity corrodes the contacts. Heat from the stovetop burners radiates into the panel above. Every time you boil a pot of water, the steam rises directly into the electronics that control your oven. They put a computer inside a steam room and called it an upgrade. The third crime is quieter, but just as expensive. Older ovens used heavy-duty, exposed heating elements. They were crude, visible coils that glowed red. They heated fast and lasted 15 to 20 years. Replacement cost was $30 to $50. Modern ovens hide the elements beneath a smooth floor panel for a cleaner look. This is called a hidden bake element. The problem is that when it fails, you cannot simply unscrew and replace it like the old exposed coils. The entire bottom panel has to be removed, and in some models, the element is integrated into the oven structure in a way that makes replacement a $200 professional job for a part that used to cost $30 and 10 minutes. They traded 15 years of easy repair for a slightly cleaner interior that costs 4 times more to fix. Have you ever run the self-clean cycle and had something break? Or has your oven control board died for no apparent reason? Drop it in the comments. I want to see how common this really is. So what should you actually buy? Number 3. If you already own an oven with self-clean, stop using it. Use a 50-cent paste of baking soda and water instead. Spread it on the interior, let it sit overnight, wipe it off in the morning. It takes 10 minutes and it will never fry your control board. This one change can extend the life of your current oven by years. Number 2. When you buy your next range, look for the simplest model available. Avoid ranges with touchscreen controls, smart features, and Wi-Fi connectivity. Every digital feature is another failure point inside a machine that generates extreme heat and steam. The ideal oven has physical knobs, an exposed bake element, and as few electronic components as possible. GE and Whirlpool still make basic gas and electric ranges in the $300 to $600 range with mechanical controls. They are not pretty, they are functional. Number 1. Buy a commercial-style range if your budget allows. Brands like Blue Star and Viking build ranges designed for professional kitchens where the oven runs 8 to 12 hours a day. They use heavy-gauge steel, simple mechanical controls, and components rated for continuous high-temperature operation. They start around $2,000, but they are built for 20 to 30 years of daily abuse that would destroy a consumer range in 5. Over 20 years, one commercial range costs less than 3 consumer ranges. Here is the rule. Never press self-clean. And when you shop for an oven, check the controls. If it has a touchscreen, it has a $300 computer sitting next to a 1,000-degree heat source. That is not cooking technology. That is a countdown timer to a repair bill. Stop buying the smart marketing. Start buying the dumb engineering. Subscribe. Next week, we are exposing your internet provider. They are charging you $15 a month to rent an $80 router, and they designed it to slow down so you blame your internet speed instead of their equipment. Subscribe. Next week, we are exposing your internet provider. They are charging you $15 a month to rent an $80 router, and they designed it to slow down so you blame your internet speed instead of their equipment.